Hello my dear students, good morning to all of you. In today's session we are going to discuss on very important topic, that is design factors. Okay, as we already know that in a previous class what is design of a electrical machine itself. The definition we have already discussed. What is design of a machine? It is nothing but what? It is the creative physical realization to the theoretical concepts. Okay, nothing but what it is. For example, if you are going to design a transformer, means the transformer usually on which theoretical concepts we will consider first now. So the transformer, it is going to be works on the principle of mutual induction and self induction, is it right? According to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction principle itself, is it right? So these are the theoretical concepts what we need to consider, and we have to give the creative physical realization to the machine itself. So that is going to be called it as what? A design. Getting my point? Or you can define it as it is the creative physical realization to the theoretical concepts. Okay, or else we can define it as a design is a creation of a plans for the machines to perform what? Desired functions or the desired task with the optimum economy as well as with the good efficiency. Getting my point? So in order to get a good design of any electrical machines like what? Examples: transformer or the induction machines or synchronous machines, DC machines, is it right? So in order to get a good, reliable as well as the durable as well as the cost should be very much minimized. So such a kind of a design will get by considering some factors itself. So what are those factors we need to consider? Means, so those factors only we'll study one by one. Okay, here, so first thing is that most of the electrical machines which are of a rotating type itself. Getting my point? So the rotating type machines means the moment of those kinds of rotating machines. So how it is going to be possible? We need some mechanical forces for the moment of the rotating electrical machines, right? So for the moment of rotating electrical machines, we need some mechanical force. That mechanical force is going to be produced by means of how? By the electrostatic as well as the electromagnetic fields, because these two fields stores the energy. First thing is that most of the electrical machines are of a rotating type. The moment in the rotating electrical machines, for that purpose, moment of those machines, we need some mechanical force. That mechanical force, it is going to be produced by both the electrostatic as well as the electromagnetic fields. Why? In the sense that because these two fields stores the energy. Getting my point? So next we'll have a small comparison between electrostatic machines as well as the electromagnetic machines. Okay, so now in case of electrostatic machines, by making use of the electrostatic effect, mechanical force has to be produced. So this force only which will be helpful for the moment of the rotating electrical machines, right? So in case of a electrostatic effect, the forces are produced by means of a electrostatic. How? In the sense that static, in the sense that there is no any relative motion. Is it right? So the forces which are produced by means of a electrostatic effect means the force between the charges. The force will be between the charges which are charges which are not at all moving relative to each other. Nothing but static, constant. There is no relative motion between the charges itself. Getting my point? So whichever the forces which are produced by electrostatic means are very weaker in nature when we compare with the whatever the forces which are produced by means of a electromagnetic means. Okay, so we can say that the forces which are produced by electrostatic machines are very weaker in nature, but the forces which are produced from electromagnetic means are stronger in nature. And one more thing is there here. here in case of electrostatic machines, the energy density is nothing but the amount of the energy which is stored in a particular system itself. But nothing but what, the capability of the machine, how much energy it can able to store it. So this energy density will be usually restricted by what, the dielectric strength of the medium it is going to be used for the designing of a machine itself. Getting my point? So here in case of electrostatic machines, the energy density will be limited by the dielectric strength of the medium used. Okay. But in case of electromagnetic machines, there is no restriction on the flux density, because the magnetic effect it is going to be used for the production of a force itself. That is why there is no any restriction in the flux density. Here, in case of electromagnetic machines, the forces which are produced between the charges and the magnetic field, where they may be moving relative to each other. So that is why the forces which are produced from the electromagnetic means are very stronger in nature. Getting my point? So that is only I had explained here. So, and in case of electromagnetic machines, even a smaller amount of a current can able to produce the large mechanical force. Getting my point? So the forces whatever produced from the electrostatic as well as the electromagnetic effects, what we had considered now. Is it right? So this electrostatic effect will produce the forces of a very weaker in nature, but in case of electromagnetic means the forces will be very stronger in nature. So however the electrostatic considerations, so because of the reason that the forces which if it is of a very weaker in nature, because of that reason we cannot neglect completely the electrostatic effects, because these electrostatic considerations are also very important, especially in case of machines like high voltage transformers, synchronous as well as the induction motors. So that is why both the electrostatic as well as the electromagnetic considerations are very important. So both are very important at the same time to get the good design of electrical machines. Okay. So next thing here. So let us consider now the basic structure of a rotating electrical machine. Okay. So this rotating electrical machine, it is divided into the 5 parts itself. Okay, so the first thing what we told, because most of the electrical machines are of a rotating type itself. In order to design this kind of a machines, first we need to know what this basic structure of the rotating machines. Okay, so this machine, it is divided into the 5 circuits or 5 parts itself. So which are those parts? So the first one is magnetic circuit, second one is electric circuit, and the third is dielectric circuit, fourth is thermal circuit, and fifth is mechanical parts itself. Okay, let us study all these things one by one. Okay, the first thing is, which part it is? The magnetic circuit. Magnetic circuit means what? The magnetic circuit is nothing but it will provide a path for the magnetic flux flow. Getting my point? And this magnetic circuit, what it will be consist of, in the sense that it will be consist of the air gap. Air gap, it is nothing but the small distance between the rotor as well as the stator part itself. Is it right? So the magnetic circuit means the first function of the magnetic circuit is it provides the path for the magnetic flux flow, and it will be consist of the air gap, and it will consist of the rotor as well as the stator teeths, and one more thing is it will also be consist of a stator and rotor cores. Getting my point? So this is the function of the magnetic circuit. Okay, second circuit, which one is there? Electric circuit. Electric circuit means obviously through the windings only the current has to flow. Is it right? So then electric circuit means it consists of a stator and rotor windings. Getting my point? So for example, if you had considered the windings of a transformer, the windings of a transformer means, or any rotating machine, you take it. So it will conveys these windings, which conveys the energy from one alternating circuit to the another alternating circuit. Is it right? That is why the EMF production, it is going to be happen because of the principle of, according to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction principle. Is it right? So the basically, what is the function of electric circuit? What it consists of? It will be consist of the stator and rotor windings. For example, what I had considered, suppose if you had considered the windings of a transformer or any rotating machines, means the basic function of these windings is to conveys the electrical energy from one working region to the another working region, with as a result, by the principle of mutual induction principle, the EMF it is going to be gets induced in the circuit. Getting my point? These windings should be suitably insulated from each other. Getting my point? So the windings are suitably insulated from each other itself. So next thing here, this is all about electric circuit. Then third, which one is there? Dielectric circuit. Dielectric means what? Or else we can say that insulation requirement. Dielectric circuit are the insulation circuit. What is the function of dielectric circuit then? Dielectric circuit is it consists of insulation required. What purpose insulation is required? To isolate from one conductor to the another conductor. And also we can say that from these windings to the core, in order to separate or isolate from one conductor to the another, or else from one winding to the core itself. For that purpose, we need insulating materials. Okay. So those whatever the insulating materials which are used in the designing of electrical machines are essential of the non-metallic type. Getting my point? Metallic in the sense that it will be conducting type. Is it right? It should be, the material should be non-metallic, and it may be organic or inorganic type, or it may be natural or synthetic. Getting my point? So this is the function of the dielectric circuit. So dielectric circuit means you have to suppose to write like the dielectric circuit is nothing but the insulation required. What purpose insulation is required? To isolate from one conductor, nothing but from one winding to the another, from one conductor to the another conductor, or else from windings to the core itself. Getting my point? So this is why we need insulating materials. So the insulating materials are of which type? Either it may be non-metallic type, or it may be organic or inorganic, or it may be natural or synthetic type. Okay. So next comes to thermal circuit. Thermal circuit means what? Thermal means temperature. Is it right? So thermal circuit means the thermal circuit, it is completely concerned with the mode or a media for dissipation of a heat produced inside the machine itself. Getting my point? So nothing but most of the electrical machines are for rotating, in the sense that huge amount of the heat it is going to be generated inside the machine. Is it right? So whatever the heat it is going to be generated inside the machine, that should be dissipated to the surrounding itself. Is it right? Or else what will happen? Due to the increased amount of the heat, the insulation gets failed, right? Is it right? For that purpose, the amount of the heat generated inside the electrical machine, that should be dissipated to the surrounding by means of how? By means of a proper mode or a media itself. Proper mode or a media in the sense that either it is the heat dissipation through the radiation process, or it is maybe through the convection process, or it may be through the conduction process. These are the different modes itself. Getting my point? So thermal circuit, it is nothing but the it is mainly concerned with the whatever the heat it is going to be generated inside the machine, that should be dissipated to the surrounding with the help of a proper mode or a media itself. Proper mode or a media in the sense that either through the radiation process or through the conduction process or through the convection process. Getting my point? Proper ventilation or the cooling we need to provide. Getting my point? For the any electrical machines. This is all about thermal circuit. So next, which one is there? Mechanical parts. So mechanical parts means, so from this diagram we can see that the important mechanical parts of any machines are, it's a bearing and the frames, and one more is shaft. Getting my point? So this is all about the mechanical parts itself. So that is why suppose if we are going to design any electrical machines, so many problems, design problem, it has to be deal with numerous electric, it will be deal with the magnetic as well as electric, dielectric, thermal, as well as the mechanical quantities, because these are very interrelated to each other in a very complex manner. So that is why these important factors we need to consider. And apart from these factors also, very important thing is that we are going to design a machine. How much space it will be required for that, and the compact manner of a machine design, it is very important itself. So let's one more factor is here, what we need to keep it in mind, adequate space requirement. So next, another factor is, it should be, the design should be in such a way that it should be consistent with both the cost as well as the performance criteria. Getting my point? So we can say that a successful design, it is nothing but the bringing out of a economic compromise for a space occupied, by a iron, copper, aluminium. Nothing but these are the conducting materials. Is it right? As well as the insulation requirement and the coolants what we are going to be used. So these are the factors we need to consider while designing any electrical machine itself. Getting my point? I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay, thank you.